Oh, how the heartbreak just seems to continue for the Georgia Bulldogs, and tonight it got even more sad. Hello and welcome to the Red and Black Final Chat. I'm your host, Alexander T. McCready, alongside me are two UGA men's basketball beat reporters, Jed May, Nathan Berg. Well, Georgia had Kentucky on the ropes once again, and what seems to be a reoccurring theme this year, but ultimately Georgia fell to number 13 Kentucky, 82-77. We'll explain how it's been a bit of a reoccurring theme a little bit later on in this show. First, we're going to get to the big news. Deontay Maden had to leave the game about a minute and 30 seconds into it when Kentucky guard Isaiah Briscoe fell right into his knee. So a minute and 33 seconds into the game, he's out. And what Coach Fox said after the game is a serious injury. We'll have more for that when news breaks. But Nate, I'll start with you. Deontay Maden not playing in this game, how did that affect Georgia?
Well, you know, it's hard to say that nothing else would have changed if he'd stayed in. I mean, does J.J. Frazier get 36 points if Deontay stays in the game? But if everything had gone the same and Deontay continued playing, I really think this would have been a Georgia win because, you know, after Deontay goes down, Derek got a little bit of Derek Obeyda gets in a little bit of foul trouble, and then Georgia's left with pretty much one legitimate big, and that's Mike Edwards. And, I mean, Kentucky already had a size advantage on them, so that was just kind of the final nail in the coffin. They were just, you know, not able to compete, especially in offensive rebounding late in the game. And that was a big difference in the game.
You mentioned J.J. Frazier, and it's becoming a common theme for him to put the team on his back. He took 22 shots tonight. That's 12 more than anybody else on this Georgia team. Went to the line 15 times. No other Bulldog went to the line more than 4. So you want to talk about a person literally giving it all he has for his school. That's the embodiment of J.J. Frazier. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough tonight. So looking a little bit ahead down the road, Georgia's got 4 more games left before they hit the SEC tournament in Nashville. Jed, if Deontay can't play, how is this going to affect them?
I mean, you're going to see a lot more of J.J. Frazier taking 22 shots and cramping up as he was leaving post-game interviews like he did tonight. You know, you're basically, with Deontay out, you're left with pretty much 3 big men. Derek Obeyda, you know, a good rebounder, but still, you know, had a limited offensively. Mike Edwards, you know, he had 10 points tonight, but he's also limited offensively. And Houston Kessler, who's limited in pretty much everything. So, I mean, I don't know what it's. I mean, it's pretty much J.J. You know, Jawan Parker's going to have to step up. Tyree Crump is going to. He's going to have to step up and at least score more. It's going to be really, really, like, even if Georgia had won this game, you know, it'd be a big resume win with their best player out. I don't know if they would have made the tournament anyway.
Absolutely. So this has been, it's another long line of tough losses this season. I mean, you have to count on multiple hands to really capture how many times Georgia has been in a game in the final 2 minutes and just let it slip through its fingers. This is starting to become, it's starting to become a little bit ridiculous. Not so much from, you know, our perspective, but just it's tough for me to sit here and think, okay, if I was a Georgia person playing basketball, I would be in the game and think to myself, wow, you know, we might lose this. We might find a way to screw this up. And I just, you know, you said it best. I don't know how you go out there and think to yourself, going forward, we're in it, but ultimately something's going to happen, and we're just going to screw up.
You know, it's like, you know, Coach Calipari even ran through them, you know, after the game. You know, they lose to Texas A&M on a clock malfunction. They go to overtime at Kentucky. They go to overtime at Florida, you know. Even go back to the Marquette game in December, I think it was. You know, that was a really close game. Both games against South Carolina. It's just, I mean, Georgia is a few bounces of the ball away. They're 15-12 right now. They could easily be, you know, a 20-7 team and, you know, a top 4 seed in the SEC. But they're not.
Yeah. Focusing more specifically on this game, something that Coach Fox talked about a little bit in his post-game press conference was Georgia just got out-rebounded. I mean, they lost the battle on the boards. Now, we all know Kentucky is a bigger, more physical team, but it really showed at the end there. I mean, 2 big offensive boards give them a chance to tie the game at 73, and it just and Derek Willis had another one a little bit earlier that allowed them to tie the game. I think at 60 something, but yeah, they got into a big size disadvantage there, and Kentucky was just able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, well, you know, we talked about it in the pregame chat. Bam Adebayo has got 2 inches and 30 pounds of everybody on this team. And when you take Derek off the court for his foul trouble, there's nobody who's going to be able to compete with him for defensive rebounds. And on the offensive side, he was still winning one of those battles. And I mean, when you throw in Derek Willis, and like I said, Georgia was playing with essentially two bigs the entire game, there was just no chance they were going to have of winning the rebounding battle.
Before we get to the top dog, how about that crowd? That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool. Just, I mean, we don't see Stegman filled that much.
Right.
And even like, you know, there were times when the Kentucky fans would chant "Go Big Blue" and the Georgia fans would try to drown them out, and that was just kind of just like a wow moment to sit there and kind of take it in and just a basketball atmosphere in Athens.
And you know, something that a lot of people don't talk about is the fan fatigue of just constantly keeping up, just screaming. You know, it's a sport in and of itself, and these Georgia fans really, I mean, they were in it. They were loud the entire game. I was very impressed.
From a media perspective, it gets tough to cover such a high-intensity game like this. There was pushing and shoving. Pop Giada and Isaiah Briscoe went to the floor one time, and there was a little skirmish there. And you want to sit back and observe it as a fan, because it's just so much fun to watch. And you got to think to yourself, oh, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be keeping note of this stuff.
Yeah, it was tough there for sure, because you just want to sit back and just like, you know, just soak it all in.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you can't do that obviously, but you know, it was still fun to observe what we could.
Yeah. All right, so now to the top dog. Jed, I'll start with you. Who's your top dog of the night?
I'm gonna go with Mike Edwards. He played 34 minutes tonight in place of Deontay Mate, and he had, coming out of halftime, I think he had 5 straight points, and he had his season high was 11. I think it's great. He had 10 tonight. He had 3 rebounds. He played. I thought this was his best game of the season because he kind of did a little bit of everything, even though this wasn't his career high scoring.
Yeah.
And especially in place of Deontay Mate, when his team needed the most. I thought it was a great performance.
Yeah, I don't mean to call you out, but I don't think I can imagine a scenario where I pick anyone but JJ Frazier in this game. He did a little bit of everything. Rebounding, assisting, a couple steals, even a block at 5'10". And I mean, obviously the 36 points, 50% shooting percentage, had that buzzer beater 3 to end the first half that was huge for Georgia State in this game. I don't think I've seen a player on this team put the whole team on his back in a single game quite like JJ Frazier did in this one. So I got to give him my top dog.
Ultimately, though, the 36 points, all the great accolades for J.J. Frazier, they kind of go to waste just because Georgia cannot seem to get over that final 2-minute hump where other teams just find a way to get it done where Georgia just cannot. And you have to think Deontay Mate not being there was another big impact for them. The size disadvantage when Derek fouled out. It's tough. With 4 games left, Georgia has a lot to fix before they finally gear up for the SEC tournament. Because Jed, as we were talking about, that's probably the only way they're going to get into the NCAA tournament now.
I mean, yeah, the 2018 did it, and the 2018 was a lot worse by record than this team. But if this team wants any chance of, and you got to think if Deontay's out, the NIT is no certainty at this point either. 4 games. You say you go 1-3 without your best player in those games, you make an early exit in the SEC tournament. There's no certainty you'll even make the NIT at that point.
Absolutely. Well, that's going to do it for us. Thank you very much, Jed May, Nathan Berg. I am Alexander T. McCready. This has been the Red and Black Final Chat. Georgia falls to Kentucky 82-77. We'll see you next time.